Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will show you how to make the most incredible weeknight burrito with marinated chicken, fajita style onions and peppers, and other fresh ingredients. I'll also teach you how to meal prep this in a way that you can enjoy the same quality burrito many more times by simply taking one out of your freezer the night before. So let's get started. For this recipe, you'll need some flour tortillas. Those are 10-inch, and I have 2 packs. 1 large pack of chicken. Any types of cheese that you want. I used about half of this amount of cheese. 2 red peppers, 2 orange peppers, tomatoes, limes, and yellow onions. Then you'll also need some fresh cilantro, yellow rice, and optional black beans if you'd like. After you've rinsed your chicken real well, just go over each piece and trim off any excess fat that you see. I'll also cut a couple incisions on each side just to butterfly it and press on them so that they flatten out real well, and then cut them in half. This way they'll cook evenly and they'll marinate evenly as well. I'm going to drizzle in a couple tablespoons of canola oil and squeeze in a half of a lime, and then also season with some salt and pepper. And then for the seasonings, you could just use a tablespoon of the following: garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, cumin, chili powder, maybe a little cayenne. If you don't have those seasonings, you could just use a packet of fajita seasoning, or maybe 2 packets because it's a lot of chicken. And then mix those seasonings with the canola oil into the chicken. If it seems like it's a little dry, add a little more oil. That's what I did, because you want the marinade to be wet like this. Then put it into a different container, and I'm going to place this in the fridge to marinate while we prepare the rest of the ingredients. Now at this point in time, I just want to say you can alter this burrito however you'd like. You could use different kinds of rice. I'm using yellow rice. You could use black beans. You could saute black beans with a little onion and garlic. That would be fine. So just modify how you prefer. And now here what I'm doing is cutting my 2 orange and red peppers into strips along with my 2 yellow onions. And then I'll also be dicing up 2 tomatoes. And now in a pan on medium-high heat, we want to saute our peppers for about 7 to 8 minutes, just until they soften. We'll also put a couple little pieces of butter on top, give them a mix through, and then we'll season with salt, pepper, and a little bit of sugar, just to help them get caramelized a bit. We will do the same thing with the onions. A little bit of extra virgin olive oil on medium-high. We'll saute them for about 7 to 8 minutes. Throw in a couple little pats of butter in there. And then we'll season with salt, pepper, and some sugar just to help them caramelize as well. And then for the marinated chicken, I'm going to use canola oil instead of the extra virgin olive oil, and about 2 tablespoons, medium-high heat in the frying pan. And we want to cook the chicken about 4.5 minutes aside, making sure they're cooked almost all the way through. But I will put a lid on them after I immediately remove them from the pan and let them sit under the lid for about 6-7 minutes. And this will keep them really juicy and help all the juices redistribute. I cooked the chicken in batches, so it was about 3 pans worth. And after the last batch, I diced it all up, and then I also scraped off any of those juices back into the bowl with that chicken. That's very important. And now all of our prep is done. You can either feed an army with all this food, or you can prepare many burritos. That way you can have some of this deliciousness in the future. You can use one tortilla, but they won't be as big. I want to make this so that it's like a dinner each time I have a burrito. So that's why I'm using two. I put in my rice, my chicken, both kinds of peppers and onions. I'm putting in some jalapenos. I'll also put some fresh cilantro and then a whole bunch of cheese. Just take your time rolling these, tuck in each side, and then bring one roll over the top, tuck in the corners, and then tightly wrap it the rest of the way. Now, griddling my burritos is how I prefer them. You don't have to do this. I just put a little dab of butter and just cook each side for about 2 or 3 minutes until they're nice and crispy. You could also just wrap them in tinfoil and put them in the oven for 15 minutes on 350. You could just eat them like that if you'd like, whatever you prefer. If I could get the larger Chipotle style burrito shells at my store, I would. That way I would only have to use one, but they aren't really that bready. They look like they might be bready with two, but there's so much stuff in there that it actually holds them together really well. Okay, all my ingredients made it into 10 burritos. I put one in my fridge for the next day, one for the video, and then these 8, which I will freeze for future dinners over the next 2 or 3 months. So I wrapped it in a paper towel first, then plastic, then tinfoil. The reason why I have paper towel on the bottom layer is because when you take these out of your freezer the night before, it will absorb any juices that come out and it'll keep the tortilla dry. That way you can roast it in the oven or griddle it again like I did, whatever you'd like. So I hope you guys give this a try. It is definitely worth the time and effort. I'll see you guys next time.